Good morning, everybody. I think you're going to join me on a trip to the barbers. I think I need it by now. And I thought I'd describe the journey on the way from this side of Rancho Mirage, playground of presidents, to the other side of the Palm Springs area. Slightly different language, but still very colourful. So I'm going to take my book with me to dish it out, and let's go. It's now 10 o'clock in the morning. It's probably 100 degrees outside. Forecast to be about 110 today. Really cool. I better not text and drive while I'm being filmed. Lots of gardeners working. Who's happy? Some English people live over there. And I think the people here look after the gardens pretty well. We're now coming into Frank Sinatra Drive. Well, Frank Sinatra was a very prominent part of the development of the Palm Springs area. Very, very generous. Donated millions to charities, to the local Eisenhower Hospital, to churches, synagogues, you name it. He just gave fortunes, and they named this road after him, doing what they call in America a U-turn. In England we call it a U-turn. He built a house on this road, and when President Kennedy was visiting the area, decided he would like him to come and stay there. So he built this 19-building complex, which we're going to pass in a minute, hoping that the president would come and stay with him. I was terribly disappointed when it didn't happen because of Kennedy's, or his brother Robert Kennedy's, worry that Frank Sinatra's connections with the mafia were a bit too close for comfort for the president to be staying at his house. Anyhow, the truth is, it's here. It's been sold, of course, and we'll probably just see gates, lots of gates of the various residents, which is on the other side over there. We're just passing it on the right. These are all the parts of it. This over here, all this is part of that complex. It goes on and on and on and on. So that was Frank Sinatra, and with the mountains ahead, there's mountains that go over to Idlewild at the top, and we're going west now. We carried on in this direction, we'd end up in Los Angeles. On the left we'd go to San Diego, and on the right we'd go to Las Vegas, and if we're going backwards we'd end up in Phoenix, Arizona. So there's not much else to say about this, but this is just the route that I take normally to get to Carlos, who's the hairdresser extraordinaire artist. I really love him, he's a great man. This is the wash up here, which is several of these are built sort of like tunnels where the water can flow when they have, very rarely they get water here, lots of rain, and it sometimes causes flash flooding. So all the roads get flooded because there's not much drainage here because there isn't much need for it. However, once there's a flash flood it can be problematic and roads get closed. So various bridges have been built in the Palm Springs area. We're right now in the middle of Coachella Valley. On the left, Palm Springs, on the right, Coachella, La Quinta, and now we're going from Rancho Mirage, where it's still pretty nice now. We're going into Cathedral City, which is not named after a cathedral, but the shape of the rocks in the mountains, which are known as cathedral rocks, and they rather look like a cathedral. Huge, huge rocks, and that's why they got the name Cathedral City, which is basically much lower key than Rancho Mirage or anywhere else around here. A lot of house building, tools, or if you want tiles or anything to do with building, most of the shops are in Cathedral City. It's not ideal for me to go all this way to the barbers, but I do it because I've always used the same guy who I like. This is Gerald Ford Drive. There's some very exotic names of presidents and dignitaries or stars. Every road there's Gerald Ford Drive, there's Bob Hope Drive. We're going to get up to Dinah Shore Drive. I mean, everybody gets a drive here. I haven't got one. Quizás, as they would say in Cathedral City. Now we're getting more into the undeveloped part, as it used to be. As you can see, there's less vegetation. It's getting kind of browner and getting more deserty. And if you look straight ahead, you can see the mountains there are pretty beige colour. You don't expect camels to be coming. Up there is the 29 Palms, which is an American training camp for Air Force people, etc. Huge development. The great thing about Palm Springs for me are the roads are all symmetrical. There's Dinah Shore, just crossing it. Now we can really see the desert. On the left there is exactly how it was, just a mass. And there was one track that went from one mountain range from the west side of the valley to the other side where there are mountains, the east side of the valley, the whole thing being the Coachella Valley. And also, interestingly enough, straight ahead, about 20 miles from here is the San Andreas Fault, something we don't look forward to, but it's there. And there was a big earthquake about 3 or 4 years ago, and they're expecting more, obviously. It's we're now in the middle of the desert, because there's a few caravan sites there and recreational vehicle homes, and trailer parks. And I think you get the feel of it. It's just changing from being lush, cultivated, high-end houses to kind of, well, whatever you want to call them. It says it's just 97 degrees. It feels a lot more than that. But actually it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so by 3 in the afternoon it'll definitely be 110, I would think. Maybe more. The humidity is not too bad at the moment, but they're forecasting some hurricane remnants, the one that wiped out Lahaina in Maui. That's going to be hitting us in 3 days, and they're forecasting rain, which is quite unbelievable really, but it can even happen here. Now there are less and less homes. I didn't mention there were many golf courses around here, obviously. There's somebody playing golf over there. One other thing I noticed about Palm Springs, when I got here originally in 1990 as a snowbird, there were many floral sides to the road, beautiful flowers everywhere. But because of water shortage or whatever it is, economies, people have now all tended to go back to desert cultivation, sort of cactuses and desert. It's very rocks and wet things that don't need water. It's a rather a shame because it was really splendid. Now that, if we just switch to the other side, that is just, that's it. That's what Palm Springs used to be. Nothing there, no electricity, nothing. We're certainly on a deep desert highway here. I'm going this way, which might be the wrong way. I might have to do a U-E just to show you what happens. It gets more and more rugged scenery. Yeah, so that was the wrong thing to do, which is typical of me, but gives you a good idea of what's going on. So going back. Now you get a view of the other mountain ranges ahead of Palm Springs. It's the whole of the area of Coachella Valley and the mountains all the way around. Some of them are as high as about 10,000 feet. Now the mountains ahead, those are the ones. Palm Springs is directly ahead of us. This is Cathedral City. Rugged desert terrain. My appointment at this place is at 11 o'clock, so we've got time. I might get a coffee at Starbucks or something first, which is bang opposite the barbers. Soccer is now a big thing in America, so there we are, soccer sign-ups for the kids to learn how to play soccer. And when my grandson was here, we went to one of these things. It was quite funny. Hundreds of kids playing football, soccer. That is the I-10 ahead of us. We're going to be turning left on a huge road called Vistacino. Often gets blocked if there's any bad weather conditions, because another thing about here is this is a wind passage through the Coachella Valley. So when there's wind, and there is wind regularly, especially every time, and you might notice sand on the edge of the road everywhere. This sand blows everywhere, so you can get sandstorms, and you come in your car's covered in sand, which is most bizarre. That's a feature around here which you wouldn't expect. We're pretty near to Palm Springs now, probably 5 miles to the center of Palm Springs, Palm Canyon, the main drag in Palm Springs. And also we get all the different type of houses here, especially the ones that are older. Sort of 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all those sort of houses are here, because initially the other desert cities were just an idea in somebody's head. They all came later. I like it around here. It's just something about it. It's just, I can't describe it. It's the air. It's just, I don't know. Maybe as I'm so used to being in freezing cold England in the winter, and damp and the cold, and it just doesn't exist here. People that are born in California never know how lucky they are because of the weather. And of course people always make fun of them when they're getting earthquakes and the like, but you know, they don't get freezing cold weather for like 4 months, damp and bronchial. It's just something about this place. It's got magic. Oh, we're very nearly there now. Starbucks. Oh God. Here I'm getting frappuccino, which is as high calorie as you can get, and then I get protein baskets to go home. It's a diet after you've eaten all the stuff. Kind of illogical. Alright, thanks a lot. Thank you. 14 million calories. You need a lot of protein baskets after that. You changed some of the photographs around.
Yeah, some of the photos I added a few, and I changed them around a bit. So the usual?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, there's
Not too short on the top.
okay.
paying your cash today, I've got a present for you. It's in that bag. I've got to sign it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
That's okay. It's a lease. Also, I'll get you a copy of this film for your own use.
Yeah.
And that you can post it to all your pals.
Oh,
the ones I won't. I tried to get photographs of all the various members of the
Goodfellas and all the good actors, all the Italian actors.
Yeah, exactly. So they're certain to make the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah, they're running away with the division for sure. But that means nothing. It's not until you get to the playoffs. Last year they won 111 games and got knocked out in the first round. You know, so
well, it can happen. You know,
anything is possible.
Is the women's soccer here from the point of a league point of view?
For like the MLS?
Yeah.
Actually, these guys had a big elbow. Hey, Moy, how much did you pay Jay out last time for basketball? 180?
Yeah, like 180.
On a basketball game, 180.
What, here?
Here, yeah. Right here with this little court.
You should have put it on the Dodgers.
Soy tuyo que soy el número uno. Cierra los ojos que siéntelo muy bien. Soy el dueño de ese todo. Bonito, chiquitico, mirada que enamora. Un juego que condena. Una mona, pensé tuve un problema.
Good. Sit you back up.
Yes. You must be an artist.
Thank you.
It's the truth.
Sir.